On December 6, 2024, the Coast Guard published a final rule to amend the approval requirements for PFDs, including buoyancy aids and life jackets. Specifically, binational standards ANSI CAN UL 12402, parts 4 and 5 were incorporated by reference. Level 50 and Level 70 buoyancy aids meet the requirements for Coast Guard approval for recreational use. Level 100 life jackets meet the requirements for Coast Guard approval for use on commercial vessels. Because these standards are binational, these same devices also meet requirements for carriage in Transport Canada. You're likely to have seen Coast Guard approved Level 70 or Level 100 PFDs on the market for the past few years. Earlier this year in February, Transport Canada issued policy to adopt Part 5 for Level 50 PFDs. This was the final piece we needed in order to begin approving Level 50 PFDs in the US. You will soon begin to see Coast Guard approved Level 50 PFDs on the market. These can be used in both the US and Canada. Users and law enforcement officers should be aware of the rules in their area and should read the label on the PFD for any limitations. All PFDs must be used in accordance with the label. For example, all Level 50 PFDs must be worn in order to count towards carriage requirements. This information is marked on the label. Inflatable Level 70 PFDs also have limitations marked on the device. Youth inflatable PFDs are limited to use in the US for users under 16. All approved PFDs are marked with a Coast Guard approval number and a Transport Canada approval number. While we have been transitioning to the level system for multiple years, PFDs approved under the type system are still approved to be manufactured, sold, and used. As long as the PFD is in good serviceable condition, it can be continued to be used by boaters. The Coast Guard continues to work with our industry partners, both in standards development and outreach, to support a smooth transition to Level 50, 70, and 100 PFDs.
Unfortunately, Transport Canada has come out with their acceptance of the Level 50 under 12402 Part 5 and added some limitations. They will not accept the Level 50 inflatable for youth for anyone under 16 years of age. And they will not, or they've limited the use of a Level 50 to within 2 miles of the shoreline, which will limit the ability to use that on something, for instance, a sailboat or a PWC that could very easily get 2 miles offshore. So practically a Level 50 would be a great product for any activity that generally already requires or necessitates the vest to be worn all the time, such as on a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard or a PWC, where you wouldn't typically have the vest stored not on your body. So it will allow you to have something much more comfortable, thinner and so forth, but worn all the time. We started working on the harmonization. Well, harmonization has been beneficial under the Level 70. We have been able to make one unit, like you said, one product that would sell everywhere. That has been very good. Now, unfortunately, under the Level 70, that was good. Under Level 50, we're going to have some more limitations, specifically to things like the youth, where we could make an approved Level 50 youth inflatable, but it wouldn't be acceptable for anyone under 16 years of age in Canada, which means it wouldn't be approved. So there's really no reason to harmonize it to both, because it still would not be acceptable in Canada. Just like the harmonized label that we use now for the Level 70s, it will look exactly the same. It just simply will have the Level 50 icon and the approval numbers for both countries. The U.S. market, of course, is big, so there's still a potential market for a youth inflatable in the U.S. Unfortunately, it's just unfortunate that we're going to be limited to we're limiting the market, right? So you could put anything on someone as long as you have the other product to actually meet carriage requirements. For the US, recreational devices are in North America, I guess, recreational devices are the real market. That's where all of the volume is. And the level 50 or level 70 device really is what fulfills the need for generally most of the market. Uh, Other items that are sold in the U.S. and Canada, such as the current inflatables under UL 1180, uh, those still have a place, but the harmonized standards don't really work for those items. And that's something that we're addressing now as Life Jacket Association because the or through the Life Jacket Association because the final CFR change for the harmonized uh, level 50, when they did that, they also took the references to the legacy standards UL 1123 and 1180 out of the CFR. So we're working now to help or work with Coast Guard to uh, get equivalency statements on the books so that there's no confusion. Competition vests, I think they're in the market and they are designed only for, what their name indicates. They're designed for competition or the training for competition. So they don't provide the same level of buoyancy. Generally, they're not produced using the same approved components. And so there's no or the same approved construction. So, for instance, on a high-speed vest, for an approved vest, you're required to have multiple closures, belts and zippers and so forth to keep it on your body. And most of the competition vests don't have belts at all. They just rely on the stretch of the neoprene to hold the device down on you. And then from the buoyancy standpoint, they're generally uh, less buoyant than an approved vest. I haven't seen one that actually says Coast Guard approved, but I've seen them that they go very close by implying, they say, approved CE uh, material that and things such as that. And they've done a really good job of copying the icons and the format of the approval label to put in all of the information, and they just don't put in the Coast Guard approval number or the TC approval number. So the label looks very similar. It just doesn't have the approval numbers listed. That is a problem.